Okay, so I'll admit it, I love moves. I consider myself a move monkey for lack of a better term. However, as you know, I do love self-working card magic. I think self-working card magic is sort of the backbone of magic and card magic itself. I mean, you show somebody a trick with a lot of difficult moves and sleights in it versus a self-working banger of a miracle. I think every single time, any day of the week, the self-worker is going to be a lot of a better trick. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Of course, this is all just opinion based, and this is just my opinion. I'm just saying that I prefer self-working tricks over heavy sleight of hand tricks. So today I'm going to show you and teach you a wonderful, what a gem of a self worker that you'll be learning today. I'm really excited for you. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so here is what this trick looks like. After I do this, I'll teach you exactly how it's done. Alright, so if I had somebody here, I would ask them to say stop as I shuffle cards like this, okay? So once they do, I put both halves down just like this. Now, I ask them to shuffle both halves into each other like a riffle shuffle. Alright, so they do that, and they really can do this and push them into each other like this. Now, maybe that amount of mixing is enough. I don't know, it could be, but maybe we can take it a step further, right? So now they're asked to take about, I don't know, 2/3 of the deck, or a little bit more than half. So they do. Now put about half of these back onto there and shuffle what's in their hands. So they do. Now they put all these back in the middle somewhere. So really, the top and the bottom and the middle were all shuffled separately. All right. So there's no way I could know where any cards have ended up. But here's what we'll do. They take the card they were left with on top of the deck. Okay, that'll be their card. Now, that could have been any card. They cut, they shuffled, they did everything. All right, they said stop during that shuffle. There was no way I could have predicted or known beforehand what this card would be. All right, so they turn it over and they see that it's the Eight of Hearts. Now, you're not going to believe this, but this whole time, I've had my little wallet sitting here the whole time, and inside, you can see there's one card and one card only, which happens to be that very card, the Eight of Hearts. Okay, so here is how this is done, my friends. So what you'll need here is a double wallet. All right, so this is like a Himber style wallet. I actually got this one at illusionist.com. I don't know if they still sell these or not, but this is the Quiver Himber wallet. Okay, if they do still have these, you can get 10% off using my discount code SeanDivine10. But if not, any sort of double envelope or wallet will work, or just two different pockets that you have two different cards in. It doesn't really matter at all. Just you want to have two different outs, two different places to put a card in. So this Himber wallet works like this. You put one card in, say the Eight of Hearts, and on the other side, of course, you have a different card, in this case, the Ace of Clubs. All right, so whatever two force cards you have, or whichever ones you're using, you want to put those on top of the deck that you're using, all right? So there's the Eight of Hearts, and there's the Ace of Clubs. Now, what you want to do with one of them, and it's important that you remember this, which one you do this to, you want to put a marking on one of them. Right? In this case, I have a little marking on the back of the Eight of Hearts. So that lets me know which card will end up on top at the end. So again, two force cards on top. We have our Eight of Hearts and our Ace of Clubs. Only one of them has a marking on the back. They are both on top of the deck, and you're ready to go. Now, you want to have your wallet or whatever you're using sort of out in the open as you're doing this, okay? So it's better to do that instead of reaching into your pocket and pulling it out after the fact. So if it's out in the open, as long as you don't draw too much attention to it, I think it's better. But it doesn't. It's just a small detail. It doesn't really matter too much, all right? Just an opinion thing. All right, anyway, so with the trick, what you're going to do is this. To start out with any kind of shuffle that you want, keeping both cards on top of the deck. Now, you're going to start a slip shuffle, and I know some of you may be thinking, oh, a slip shuffle isn't really self-working, but come on, let's be real. I mean, how difficult is that? It's pretty much self-working, guys. All right, so what you're gonna do is start a milk shuffle or a slip shuffle like this. It's an overhand shuffle, so hold the deck like this and just pull off the top and bottom cards like this. Very easy to do, pretty much self-working, guys, right? So do that. So both the top and bottom cards go in your hand like this. There's one of the force cards right there already. So just begin shuffling cards. And when they say stop, during this, you put both halves face down on the table. So at this point, one of the force cards is right here, the 8 of hearts, and the other one, of course, is right there, the ace of clubs. So you've essentially forced both cards already. So to take things a step further, what you're going to do is ask them to shuffle these halves into each other, guys, right? So when they do that, either one of these cards, it happens automatically, will end up on top of the deck. Either the 8 will end up on top or the ace will end up on top. All right, it's just how they shuffle the deck. So let's say in this case, our ace ends up on top, and you can see that because, well, it's how they're shuffling, okay? So, and that's also why the mark is important. So when they shuffle and you see that you don't have the mark that you remembered, then it's the other force card, right? In this case, the ace of clubs. All right, so only one of the two will end up on top after the shuffle, right? So now that we've done that, you're going to do a force that's kind of like the old cross-cut force in a way, and it's like so it's discrepant, but it worked for some reason. I forgot where I saw this, but it's just wow. It's one of those things that just works. All right, so you're going to ask them to mix the deck up a little bit more, so you could know at all where any cards end up. All right, so you ask them to take off a little bit more than half the deck, like 2/3 of the deck. So they do that. Now you ask them to cut about half of these down to there. All right, so look at this. I'll keep this face up the whole time so you can see what's happening here. It's amazing. So they take about 2/3 of the deck. You ask them to cut about half of these down to there, and so that's just staying here the whole time, right? The ace of clubs. Now for distraction, and this does nothing for the trick, but all it does is distract away from what just happened. You ask them to shuffle these that they have in their hand like this. Now, after they do that, you ask them to lift up about half of these and put these in the middle of the middle. So it looks like a bunch of, like a lot is happening, but it really isn't. Alright, so now you say, look, just recap what happened. There's no way I could have known. You said stop anywhere. You shuffled. You cut anywhere. You shuffled again. You cut again and put those in the middle. There's no way I could have known nothing. And so you recap. And then finally say, look, we'll take the top card off, and that'll be your card. All right. Now, since you know which one is which in the wallet and which one is which on top, you just adjust accordingly to your revelation, right? So you can do this first if you want to. I don't really know which one is stronger. So you say, look, this has been sitting the whole time. There's one card in here, which happens to be the ace of clubs, my lucky card. What card did you get? They turn it over, and it's the exact match of the ace of clubs. And that is, I mean, for not a lot of work, you get a lot of mileage out of it. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It truly does mean the world to me. And so if you learned something new and if you got value from this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.